Take a look at what's for dinner for Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever that special occasion is. Of course, it's the king of steaks. Yes, it is the prime rib from Kansas City Steak Company, an award-winning company that services white linen tablecloth restaurants and has been one of the longest-running food brands here at QVC. They bring to us the classic or garlic herb choice of the prime rib roast. End of the show, price goes away, will not be offered for a lower price for some months. So now is the time to get it. Chef Ralph Pallarino has the honors of carving the roast beast.
Oh, yeah.
And you are giving us the opportunity to get literally the prime Cadillac, Mercedes, Rolls Royce of the steak
Keep
family.
going. I love hearing that, right? This is the center of the plate, right? And what we love about our Kansas City Steak Company prime ribs is that they're consistent and very, very easy to cook. Easier than a hamburger, and I'm going to tell you how.
Garlic herb.
Oh, you got the garlic herb.
Amazing. Okay, so sorry.
Right?
I put this in my
She
mouth.
jumped right
I
in.
should have did my other job first and then started
That's
eating.
okay.
Two flavors. Garlic herb, which is what I just tasted, or the classic original. 2 ship weeks. Have it shipped now or have it shipped on April 14th, so you'll have it in time for Easter.
Okay.
So talk to us first of all about how Kansas City does their meats and why it tastes so good.
Okay, so when you talk about prime rib, usually prime rib, people say, well, it has a lot of fat, right? And I end up trimming it, and it becomes this thing that's just too much for someone who's not really proficient in the kitchen. So what we do is we leave just enough fat that when you bake this in the oven, it will self-baste themselves. Not to mention, we leave a little bit of fat on top. So you're gonna cook it fat side up, and then it'll just literally baste itself as it's cooking. So let's talk about
moist and delicious. Okay, so listen, if you already experienced this for your family year after year, call us. We'd love to speak to you. 1-800-395-1601 is our testimonial line. Honestly, this is the what you put on the table for those big events. Is it the birthday? Is it the anniversary? Is it Mother's Day, Father's Day? It is the prime cut of beef. And again, look at the size of the steaks you're slicing off of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
If
going
you
crazy.
go to a restaurant and order prime rib and get a steak that looks like that, how much is it going to cost you?
In the 40s. Easily in the 40s, easily. So let's talk about how this is not an intimidating piece of meat, because people look at this and go, there's no way, how do I do this? Okay, so it arrives frozen. You're gonna put it in your refrigerator for about 2 to 3 days. Let it naturally defrost. The day of your special event, put it on the countertop, let it come up to room temperature. Never put cold meat in a hot oven, else it's gonna fight itself and you won't get even cooking. Now, get a baking dish, your favorite baking dish. Fat side up. Put it in the oven at 375 for about an hour and a half. Walk away. After the hour and a half, you're gonna come up, get your meat thermometer. You can buy, this is kind of a nice one, but you can buy an inexpensive one at any grocery store. You come over here, you put it in the middle. When it reads about 115, 120, you take it out. Now you see that temperature? That is a perfect medium rare. When I took that out, it was about 112, 115, and it comes up 10 degrees all the time.
And it has to rest for how long?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes before.
So think about it. In that 20 minutes, now you have time to get your string beans, your vegetable, your potatoes, right? That's how easy this is. Literally, you put it in the oven and you walk away. And I can assure you that for the last 25 years, people get their prime ribs from Kansas City Steak Company.
Let's talk about the two different flavors.
Okay,
so
let's go over here.
Go with the original.
Oh, original, okay.
And then we'll go into the garlic and herb.
All right, so original is just a blank canvas. Have fun with this. What I do is I smother with red grapes and some wine. Yes, red grapes. Unbelievable compliment.
Cut or whole?
Whole, let them burst, let them, just like a cherry tomato. Think of it like that. And then I just kind of use the seasoning that we provide you with. And that's all you need, because this is the richest piece of meat on the cattle. Now you see on the top here, that's that deckle. Okay, that protects the meat, that gives it that flavor. Now, the garlic and herb. Now, if you've had our ribeyes, and you know this, if you've had our ribeyes, this is where the ribeye comes from. Same thing, it's just cut.
And no bone.
And no bone.
So you get all meat. You can eat from front to back on this. It is, again, slice it like carving board slice, or you can slice steak slices.
Yeah, just like that.
The way that you're doing it is the classic, steak cut. And again, if you were to go to get a 6-8 ounce portion of prime rib in a restaurant, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're getting at least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steaks
Easy.
off of this. Or if you do it carving board style and slice them thinner, then you can probably use it in a couple of different ways.
So I'll share a fun story for you.
Okay.
So I gifted this. I gift a lot of my meat, my hot dogs, my burgers to my friends, my tennis friend. And he told me last night that him and his friends went down the beach for a guy's weekend for March Madness. And they cooked the prime rib and then sliced it and made sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
So there's so many things that you could do. You can make steaks, ribeyes,
Those would be people that I really like.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm making sandwiches out of prime rib, let me tell you that. All right, so let me give you an update.
Okay.
The garlic and herb is fewer than 300 remaining.
Oh, okay.
The classic, we have about 500 of these to go around, and there is no auto delivery in this particular offer, but we do have 2 ship weeks. So if you want to ship it now, and that way you just leave it in the freezer. Don't forget, like Chef Ralph said, take it out 2 days before whatever the event is that you're going to serve it for, and let it come to room temperature before you put it in the oven. And then the second ship week is the 14th, so you'll get it the week before Easter if you're saving it for that. Same thing, 2 days before, take it out, let it defrost and in the refrigerator, and then the day of, take it out, let it come to temperature.
Okay. So people are saying, well, can you get this at a grocery store? And we always talk about this. You can't get Kansas City steak products at any grocery store because we want to control the process. But you need to consider this prime rib a very elevated prime rib, the kind that you would go at a fancy hotel or if you're at a wedding or whatnot at that carving station. It's consistent. And also, it's the mouthfeel of the steak. It could look good, but if it doesn't feel good in your mouth, then that's not a good piece of meat.
Right.
And that could be from defrosting it incorrectly.
Okay.
That could be just the fact that it's a less superior piece
Or
of meat.
cooking it too far. Like, let it be, let this be that medium rare when you're serving it, because it really does it tastes perfectly. And the amount of seasoning on that garlic herb is not too much. It's just the right amount to kind of give you a little bit of that garlic, but it's not too over the top. And then the classic, the original, come on, it doesn't get any better than that. So both ship weeks are popular. Please decide when you want it. And either way, put it in the freezer until you're ready to use it.
Can I show you something?
Please.
So you talked about temperature. So let's say you have 4 or 6 people.
Okay.
Majority of them love medium rare, medium, they're okay with it. But there's one person that wants it medium well. Totally fine. Part of the family, right? It's okay. Here's what you do. Now you see, zone in on this one right here. So here's your medium. We'll call this a perfect medium. Now if you go to the back of the prime rib, look at that.
Yep.
Now I have that medium well all set up right there. Because you always have a couple slices towards the end. That's a perfect medium well. Now this is medium well. It's pink, but there's no
hot pink on the inside.
That's right.
You know what I love too, with the prime rib, that heel, the back piece you just cut off, the crust.
The candy, yeah, look at that.
That's the meat candy. Yeah. That is delicious.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so people always say to me, you must have seared that big piece. How the heck would you sear a big piece of meat? We don't do any searing. When you leave just enough fat, and at 375, it hits that oven, it just naturally caramelizes, so you're gonna get that crust without doing anything.
So you don't have to sear this meat. When you follow the instructions, and they will come with it, so you'll know exactly what to do. Oh yes, the trimmings from the pan and the juice left in there will make an amazing gravy. So yes, you can have gravy on your prime rib. But wow, what a great piece of meat that is.
It really is, thank you. And by the way, when we're talking about making that sauce, is when you put it in the oven, I told you just put it in the oven. If there's anything in your refrigerator you're trying to get rid of from a vegetable standpoint, even apples, put it all in the pan together. And as it's cooking, you take the primer out, it's resting. Now you have all this juice and you just strain it out,
different flavors.
Add a clunk of butter, and off you go.
All right, we have about 600 remaining. Don't forget, one-time only price goes up at the end of the show. Garlic herb is last call. Ask about the classic again if you want to get that. Don't forget, 2 ship weeks. You can have it shipped now if you can't wait, and you can have it shipped on April 14th if you want it a little bit closer to Easter. And 134418 is the item number. Chef, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll be back. I'm going to take that little piece there and eat it on my way out.
Are you really?
Yeah, of course I am.
You know what?